Okay.
I'm having a hard time hearing you.
Uh,
Hold on one sec. Okay.
can you hear me now? Can you?
Yeah,
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you
How's
doing?
uh, how's the, how's the rest of the band? Are you in contact with one another?
Yeah, a little bit texting here and there. We're getting ready to start rehearsals next week um, for this virtual gig. So we've been trying to get all those details sorted out.
Yeah. No, that's something I'm looking forward to. I can't wait. Can't wait to see it.
Great.
So, uh, let's start from the beginning. How did you guys meet, and what artists influenced you in becoming a band?
Well, we grew up together in the same neighborhood. So John and Gonzo and myself are in the same grade. We were we're the same age, so we had this. We were growing up in the same school, same neighborhood, and but we became kind of more tighter with a group of friends in middle school, and so we've just always been fans of music, and when we were all got into the same kind of bands around the same time, talking like 1975 to 1970 uh, and 1976 to anyway around that era. And we played instruments and stuff. We started learning guitar and that kind of thing, but the band didn't form until after high school. And it was began by uh, Gonzo and his brother Phil. They met up with Dave Pritchard at the high school, and then they started jamming one summer. Then they asked John to come in the fold, and then eventually they asked me.
So,
So,
so what bands did you grow up listening to? Was it
well,
like Black Sabbath, things like that?
well, at first it was, I think the earliest stuff was, of course, we were listening to Led Zeppelin and Sabbath and Deep Purple, but it was really the thing that really kind of brought us together was Kiss Alive 1.
Yeah,
And then around that same time we really got into Queen, which was sort of like around the Not at the Opera era. And we were also really into Thin Lizzy at that point.
yeah,
uh, and we discovered UFO. um, but when we were becoming a band, a little bit later, I would say like 79, 80, 81. By that point we were already listening to early Scorpions, Judas Priest, um, and you know bands like that. And but when the band really kind of first got together, which was that year I told you about, which was I think the summer of 1981, we
yeah,
were really into the new wave of British heavy metal, and that whole thing really impacted us a lot and was a big influence. Of course, we're talking about first Iron Maiden record. We're talking about
yeah,
Saxon, Motorhead, or first Def Leppard record. You know, bands like that, and so those bands had a big impact on what we were writing. In the beginning, and along with some of the stuff that we were also, you know, uh, like the stuff from the '70s as well. But
yeah.
the real the nucleus of it was the new wave of British heavy metal.
Yeah, you can like with your music, you can you. One of the reasons why I was asking about what bands you listen to, because you have got that same sort of sound and quality as early Iron Maiden, and it's amazing. It's amazing to listen to it. Like it, but I just wanted to get in it to see what bands you enjoyed, and you can't go wrong with Kiss, can you?
No, exactly. And to be fair too, we've always listened to a lot of different kinds of music. I mean, alongside of like the Queens and the Thin Lizzies and the Kisses of the mid '70s, we were also really into Cheap Trick.
Yeah,
Aerosmith, Ted Nugent. Those bands also influenced us, and not only that, but we also grew up in Los Angeles, and we had a lot of great radio stations here. So we also were exposed to a lot of R&B here, and
yeah,
so we all five of us have a great appreciation for you know all kinds of stuff. Just Earth, Wind and Fire, Sly Stone, Brothers Johnson, all kinds of stuff. Marvin Gaye, the list goes on, and
yeah,
so eventually those influences were going to creep into the music that we write later. But yeah, for sure when we first started out, it was all about you know it was all about the new wave of British heavy metal.
yeah. You've got Punching the Sky, which is coming out next month. It's your eighth full length album. Are you excited to be releasing it?
Yeah, we're super stoked. It's been 5 years since the last release, and we have written a lot of great music, we feel like, and we want to share it and can't wait to get it out. So
Yeah,
it's always exciting. Getting a new record to come out is always cool. So we're looking forward to it.
yeah. It's I've listened to the album 5 times today because it's like I say, it's an amazing album, and I can't wait to share my thoughts on the album when I release the review next month.
Great.
But one of the things I was looking at and all that is they going to be with this live event which you're doing. Will you have is the majority of it of the new album, or is it going to just be a few selected songs?
We're doing a full set, but most of the set will be some classics. We're pulling a couple of older songs we haven't done in a long time.
Yeah,
Um, and then in addition to that, we're playing four songs from the new record. So there will be kind of a preview of the record with four brand new songs, two of which the world has heard, the End of the Attention Span and Standing on the Shoulders of Giants. But
yeah,
aside from that, two other songs that nobody's ever heard. So and we're excited to do this show. It airs on October 10th, and it runs all the way until November 8th. So it's a full. You can watch the stream anytime during that month-long period. So it's
yeah,
a really cool thing. If you can't make it on the 10th, you can watch it any other day.
yeah,
But it's only $10 to get in. If anybody wants to come and hang out with us, we're going to be playing in an empty venue, so we're hoping people will join us at
yeah,
home and in the comfort of their couches and TVs and computer screens or whatever it is.
yeah,
So if anyone's interested, please go to the website, which is Armored Saint. That's one word, armoredsaint.veeps, veeps.com. And
yeah.
then easy to do. You just sign in and you just hit the link for a ticket, and it's only $10. So it's going to be cool. We're looking forward to it, actually.
I've been promoting it, the actual event on my social media,
Great,
and this Sunday there'll be a feature on my website. So I'm going to try and promote it as much as I can my end, and
great. Thank
hopefully get a good crowd to listen in. Because, like I say, the album is fantastic. It's just one of those things where you just go, "Oh my god, I gotta listen to this again." And the opening sounds, the opening song, it's brilliant. It gets you straight into the mood, and you just want to listen to it again and again. And like I say, I listened to it 5 times today. My dad was getting getting
you.
fed up I kept putting it on in the car. So,
That's great. Thank you.
can you tell me a bit about the writing and the recording of the album? How long it took, whereabouts you recorded it?
Well, we began writing sometime around the December of 17, and we finished writing in I think October of 2019. So nearly 2 years of writing. Uh, Mind you, we write very slowly. I guess no need to point that out, but we we all have families and kids, and so it's in between, hockey practice and dropping the kids at school and whatnot. So we kind of take our time with the writing. We don't really try to force it, and we don't try to make some kind of a crazy schedule to get it done quickly. We just kind of want to make sure that the songs come to life and we don't push them too hard.
Yeah,
So it takes time to do that. Um, and so, the writing process is great. John and I are basically the writing partners, and we really enjoy, making this music together, and it's a lot of fun. It never feels like work to us. So
yeah,
we really kind of cherish that situation. And, um, so the writing process went really great. It was a lot of fun. It took some time, but well worth the wait. And we just wanted to make sure we had a great collection of really great songs, and that was the main goal. So we felt like we got there. And then the recording process started in December of 19, and we did the drums at one studio, and I brought the engineers back that worked on "Win Hands Down," our last record.
yeah,
I brought them here to do this again with me because I really enjoyed the workflow and the rapport that I have with all three of these guys. We did the drums with Josh Newell, we did the guitars with Bill Matoyer, who's a longtime old friend of ours, and then the mix was done by Jay Rustin, who also mixed "Win Hands Down" too, um, it was great. Like I said, we started the drums in December, and then in January we took Christmas break for 3 weeks off, and then we went to do guitars with Bill Matoyer,
yeah,
and it kind of was bouncing back and forth between him and my studio at home, and I work one on one with John at my house. And so we were fixing vocals, recording vocals, and I was doing my bass in between all this time. And then I handed the record off to Jay to be mixed right after Los Angeles shut down the city. So we weren't really affected by the COVID situation really
yeah,
closely. We had already finished all the recording parts of it. Um, so the only thing that was left to be done was the mixing, and um, mixing is a very isolated job, as anybody can imagine. So
yeah,
that didn't require having to go anywhere for that. Um, and so Jay works from home, and I stay home, so we shared files over the internet. So that all worked out for us, regardless of this nasty situation that hit the rest of the world.
yeah. It's it, it's been dire all over the world for especially for musicians, and I just want um I just want to get back now and focus on live events because that's the one thing which I miss so much. It's it gets you down when you're not going to concerts and things like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
None of us can go anywhere, and
no.
it's
With uh with the recording of the album, as a have you approached each album differently, or have you got like a set way how you go about recording it, or is it just as it comes, get it down?
it hasn't always been like we do it a certain way. The last couple of records we've made a certain way. and it wasn't always like this in the old days, but because of the advent of technology, it's
Yeah,
basically afforded me to work in this way. And the way that it is, it's, without getting too technical geeky about it, is that I record demos of all the songs that I'm writing during the writing process, and I do
yeah,
it all in Pro Tools on the computer. And so when we're done writing with all of the songs and we decide, okay, these are the 11 songs that are going to make the record, I basically create a copy of the demos, and we use the demos as a template to replace the instruments one by one to sort of recreate the song. And so that's that's the method that that's the way we've done it for the past three records. It starts out by I guess I should preface this by saying that when I'm making these demos and we're writing the songs with John, I really go to town on them. I mean, I make them like really elaborate. They sound like finished records when the demos are done, and it's a
yeah,
way for me to really get a vision about how I want the end result to sound. So I have a pretty clear direction about where this is going. So when it comes time to actually make the record, we start by replacing things one by one. We replace the drum machine with Gonzo, and then we
yeah,
replace the rhythm guitars with Phil and Jeff, and then the leads with Phil and Jeff, and so we start little piecemealing this thing back together, and
yeah.
that's how the process has been since La Raza, really.
No, but brilliant. With with everything which has been going on, especially with COVID, over this 2020, have you been really active doing stuff on social media, or is this event which is coming up now next month, is that your first big thing to do with social media?
Well, once we all kind of swallowed that pill that things weren't going to change and very soon, and we had no ability to make any plans to play out live or to go anywhere, we can't
Yeah,
even try right now. So once that pill went down, we started to realize that we need to maintain this, and get this connection with our fans, and the only way to really do that is through social media. So we've been trying to be way more active than we have in the past about just engagements, with fans on the various platforms. We did a remake of one of our old songs, Isolation. And that was something that was fun to do for us. We each did it at home and we didn't have to get together. And then we put this video together and we did a song. And that's another way to engage with fans. And we've been trying to do little videos here and there of just us, candid at home and just engaging with people basically. And we've made a
yeah,
couple of videos too, as you probably know. The two singles have videos, and we're actually
yeah,
working on a third video right now. Can't tell you the song yet, but but we're working a third single right now. And then this live thing too was a decision we made consciously to re-engage with people. At
yeah,
first, the idea seemed really alien to us. Like what, we don't want to play a show in an empty club. That just sounds awkward and alien and weird. But once
yeah,
we realized that this was the only way to engage with people, we made the decision to play the show. And we were celebrating the release of our records, so what
yeah,
better way to do? I mean, it's either this or we do nothing. So
yeah,
we don't want to do nothing, so we have to find the creative ways to stay engaged.
yeah. Finally, what plans have you got for 2021? Do you think you'll be out on tour? And do you think you'll be in the UK either on a full tour or a festival appearance?
Well, I hope so. I know that some bands are making plans for 21, but
Yeah,
we have not made any plans, nor has any offers come to us about possible tours or anything like that.
yeah,
It's very difficult for us, at least here in America, We are not, as it stands even today, we're not, our passports are not good, are not valid. We can't travel into Europe. So you can't, in our right minds, we can't we can't, start booking air flights and
yeah,
hotel travel arrangements to go anywhere when our passports are no good. So we're still waiting to see how things are going to open up with
yeah,
the medical community, and what's going to be available for everyone across the
yeah,
globe. You know, I'm hearing a lot of different stories. I don't know which ones to believe. There's rumors that um, things could be going back to normal as early as February of 21, but I've heard that that won't actually be true until 22. So
yeah,
I don't know what the reality is. So we're still in this holding pattern,
yeah,
and we would love to be able to make plans to come and play the UK again.
yeah,
There's a lot of cities we still need to play. We've only done a few, so we need to get back out there for sure. We have a lot of lost ground to make up.
yeah. I was talking on Facebook to a couple of people because I know quite a few promoters which do festivals and things like that. And one of the things I said to him, because here in the UK we pretty much going back into heavy restrictions, and all the bands which they cancelled their tours in 2020, and then they've rescheduled, thinking, "Oh, everything will be back to normal." And I pointed out to him that, like, June might seem like a long way away, but when it comes to festivals and all that, things have got to be prepared. And when do they make a decision that they can't no longer go ahead with that festival? And I got a funny feeling that certain festivals are not going to come back until 2022, because I just can't see how they can go, because like in England now they've gone into like a 6 month heavy restrictions. So
Mm,
that takes you into about March of next year. Well, Download Festival is June, so it only gives like 2 or 3 months before the festival starts. So
yeah,
I don't know, but I'm praying. I have my fingers crossed. I I beg Satan, please, please, please allow these bands to come, and hopefully we'll get to see you guys back in the UK very, very soon.
yeah, us too, man. Believe me, we're right there with you. All our fingers are crossed, and
Yeah,
hopefully this turns for the better soon.
yeah, definitely. Well, thank you for tonight. It's been absolutely fantastic. I loved every minute of it. Bit
Great.
tired, but,
Uh,
but,
Thank you. Appreciate it.
but thanks. Have a nice rest of the week, and hope to see you soon.
You too. All right. Well, if anything, we'll see you on October the 10th.
Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely there,
All right.
without a doubt. So
Okay.
anyway, take care and have a good album release.
Thank you very much. Much appreciated.
Uh,
All
okay,
right. Have a
take
good.
care.
All righty. Bye bye.
Okay.